So, you've signed off all the basic indoor skydiving skills. The question is, what to do next? There is a clear progression path you could follow. Learning to fly on your back, then sit flying, then head down, and all the transitions between these flying positions, as we can see here in this instructor demo. However, you don't have to chase the traditional progression straight away. There's a ton of belly flying fun on offer beyond the basic 6 degrees of movement required for sign-off. After completing the tick list for level 1 body flight, I was curious to discover what it was like to walk in the tunnel, as well as try out some basic transitions between standing and belly and vice versa. As with any technique in body flight, the first few attempts are unpolished. Belly flight to standing is especially tricky, as the wind pushes you backwards as soon as you return to a vertical orientation. But after some attempts, you'll do a respectable job, still with some assistance, and this may even become your preferred way to enter and exit a flying position. In this session, I earned a sign-off for the level 2 skill of walking. As it happens, the transitions are a little further up the progression ladder, and it's possible you may not actually be able to try them at this stage of your flying progression. If you do, you'll certainly have some interesting moments. Learning some basic formation flying is an enjoyable experience. If you're part of the iFly flight club, you'll likely try this on club nights. A lot of formation flying, even in competition, is performed close to the net. You can of course try it higher up at faster speeds, where things can get pretty lively. With instruction, you'll soon find yourself trying some introductory formations from the dive pool, some more successfully than others. It can also be tricky finding a wind speed that works for everyone without weight belts, which is another reason it can be easier to practice this stuff near the net, especially if it's your first time and you make some mistakes. So if you've tried transitions, walking and formation, why not check out the other iFly tunnels in your country? The Manchester tunnel shown here is much larger and more modern than my home tunnel in Milton Keynes. It's amazing how much difference the circular shape and additional space can make to your experience. I felt much more freedom moving around in the larger tunnel. It's also great to meet and work with different instructors. The best part about flying for leisure is that you can just enjoy the sensation of flight. Sometimes it's nice to float on a cushion of air, although the second you consciously realise that you're floating in place, you'll likely start to overthink it and move around. There's a reason you'll hear the phrase, the most relaxed flyers are the best flyers. In between visits to different tunnels, I'd always pop back to MK just to fly for a few minutes and keep current. I'm almost certain my instructor was bored by this session. After all, I didn't give her a lot to worry about. But there is value in flying regularly, even if it's just basic stable flight. Flying at the competition grade tunnel in Basingstoke offered a similar experience to Manchester, with the addition of a very cool additional overhead camera. Seeing you're flying from a different angle can really help identify any asymmetry or flaws in your body position. I used this block to refresh side slides, which I hadn't touched since signing them off a few months before. They were pretty scrappy at first, especially as I'd never attempted them at this kind of height above the net in the past, but eventually I reached a level I was satisfied with. My main memory of this block is a feeling of how natural it seems to move around the tunnel. Although I'm yet to reach the ideal of unconscious competence, and I'm certainly not born to fly, this block was the most comfortable I'd felt in the loud and unnatural tunnel environment at the time. There are only 3 corporate iFly tunnels in the UK, with a 4th set to open soon, so this flight concluded my tour of the UK iFlies, although there is one franchise tunnel in Birmingham which we'll visit at the end of this video. There seems to be a law of the universe that says you only screw up when people are watching. This was certainly the case when I took 3 friends to iFly for the first time. I not only managed to launch into and bounce off the wall at the start, but my old friend asymmetry crept back in, and for whatever reason I didn't bother to correct it. This is iFly at the Bear Grylls Adventure in Birmingham, UK, the only franchise iFly in the country, and the only tunnel in the country that this video is yet to feature. That's right, we've now visited every indoor skydiving tunnel in the entire United Kingdom during this 5-minute video. Wherever you fly, the instructors will generally give you the level of attention that you request, whether that's being left alone to fly or guided through a new technique, as seen here with my first attempt at in-phase carving. This tunnel is also the most modern in the UK, featuring double height frameless glass and a unique single loop design, although the prices are a little higher than the older corporate iFly tunnels. I really enjoyed flying here. It was great to shake off the previous session and reinforce my confidence in my own flying, including side slides of course. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this entertaining, and maybe it's even given you some ideas about what is on offer to you after signing off level 1 body flight. And for any viewers overseas, I hope you enjoyed this comprehensive tour of Britain's indoor skydiving tunnels. Take care, and I'll see you next time.